Hi everybody, how's it going? On today's video, we are going to be talking about an audiobook that I have recently finished, and that audiobook is Mimic and Me 3. Yes, the third audiobook in this series. Let's go over some details. Again, this is by Cassius Lang and Ryan Tang, narrated by Ryan H. Reed, Jeff Hayes, and Doria Sachs. This length of this audiobook is 17 hours and 3 minutes. This is another amazing book in this series, and I just love it. If you love the first book and you like the second book, you will continuously be entertained and love the third book. Let's go ahead and just jump right into some of the pros and cons. There might be some spoilers in this one, because maybe in the cons it has a little bit of a spoiler. But yes, there are spoilers, so beware. But if you're not afraid of the spoilers, then keep listening in. So let's go ahead and get into the pros. The pros is Chester and Damon's relationship and camaraderie is just a boon in this series. I love just how those two react, and also listening and getting to see some of Chester's backstory, some of his mysterious who he is behind just being a mimic. And it's just, that's really just cool and interesting to find out. The story pacing is nice. It moves along at a fast clip, and you feel like they flushed out interactions and encounters that Chester and the team interact with. And also the satisfying revenge. Yes, spoiler alert, they get their revenge in this book. And it is just, I think, a great and clean way in how that is done. And it's great. And I enjoyed it. Next is, let's see. But yeah, just things about Chester. A lot of things about Chester have been revealed or hinted at in this book. And there's parts that you're learning more about. Chester may not just be a mimic. Maybe there's something more. Maybe there isn't. But yeah, that's pretty much the pros that I have. I really like, where the story's going, and the huge cliffhanger that you are left with is kind of like, whoa, like, where is the fourth book? I need the fourth book right now because I'm freaking out and I want to know what happens next and what other things that Chester will be turning into as he consumes and eats things, and what powers and abilities will they gather and get. There's a lot of new abilities and new powers ups in this specific book, and it's just like, more. I want more. And you get to even see some other characters gain powers and abilities and explanations of how their abilities work, and you're just like, oh, that's pretty interesting. But yeah, I need to see more Monster Meat Wagon and more Monster Meat Wagon Train, and what other things that Chester will be transforming into, and how he will even get to be eating those things. So yeah, it's crazy. So let's, without further ado, those are the pros, and let's go into some of the cons, because I did have some cons, and just mainly just wanting to keep it, let people know what I might think is a con. With these videos, I always like to go ahead and just tell people about it and give them the most, informative opinion that I can. And maybe that will lead them to getting into the series, or that will lead them into just saying, no, not this series. But yeah, so let's start with there are just points in the stories that just get pretty predictable, and you can kind of just see where things are going. And maybe it's not always bad. It's like, it's predictable, but you are just, I don't know, I think you're following along with the story and you can kind of see where it's going. And when it goes that way, you're like, cool, awesome. But it just a little bit predictable. But yeah. And the main character and the main character's party seems a tad bit overpowered, and there's these obstacles, these challenges that come in front of them, and I feel like they just kind of attack it with no issue, no problem, and there's not really too much too much struggle. It's just kind of like, oh, we did it, or yeah, we like totally defeated that monster, defeated that enemy, got our revenge, and it was moving along just smoothly. But yeah, it just seemed kind of like, oh, no one was really felt like they were in danger. But so yeah. But those are the only really things that I had, and I feel like that's a little nitpicky, to be honest. But just trying to have something, trying to keep it balanced, and being like, well, I know I'm totally biased because of the narrating talents and the writing and how much I'm enjoying the story, but I just want to make sure someone else might, I don't know, might see the writing in the sand of how a character might be too overpowered and they might be hesitant in the story, but yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have on Mimicking Me 3. The cliffhanger is just ridiculous at the end of this book, and it's made me again want to be like, where is book 4? I need book 4 of Mimicking Me, and because I need to know what's happening and how it's moving along. And so that's kind of like the that stirs up the predictability of the entire story. It's like, yeah, you can kind of see where everything's going, and then the authors are like, oh yeah, twist, and you're just kind of like, whoa, brother. I don't know what you're doing here, but I like it, and I like it a lot. So yeah, the twist at the end, or the cliffhanger that we were left on, was just very much like, yeah, I like this, and I can't wait to read the next one, listen, however you want to interpret that. But I can't wait for the next one because it's just it's good stuff. So I again highly recommend the series Mimicking Me, and I think those that know of Jeff Hayes' narrations and the what Sound Booth Theater kind of supports, this will be another great series. I will leave in the description of this video a link to the Mimicking Me books on Audible, and you can go ahead and read the summaries from the narrators and get a little bit of a sample from Audible. And yeah, just go check it out there, because again, these videos are mainly to let you know and about what I thought about it, but I want you to make your own opinions and your own thoughts on, is this a series that I'm going to start or continue? Because, I always want people to save on their time and save on their money. And if this video helps in one of those ways, then I'm just glad that I could be of assistance. So without further ado, I'm going to let you all go and get back to some other audiobooks that I'm listening to. So without further ado, I'll let you guys go and see you later. Toodles!